simple interest for non-yearly time periods. Sometimes we borrow money for different time periods. For example, we might borrow money for 6 months or 5 months. And our interest rate is usually given as per annum. The really important rule here is that the interest rate and the time period have to match. So their units have to match. For example, they both need to be in years or both need to be in months. So our options when they don't match are we can change the time period to years to match the yearly interest rate, or we can change the interest rate to a rate for any other time period. Now remember that PA means per annum, per year. So for example, Ruby borrowed $5,600 at 3.9% per annum for 18 months. How much interest did she have to pay? So interest is the thing we want to know. Remember, I think it's a good idea to write down IPRN and write down what we know. Now our interest rate is yearly and I've been given 18 months. The easiest thing to do here is change months to years. 18 months. To change months into years, we divide by 12. So months to years, divide by 12. So it's just 18 divided by 12 in years. And you can just leave it, if you want, as 18 divided by 12. So we put in the values that we know. 5,600 is our principal. The interest rate needs to be divided by 100, so that will be 3.9 divided by 100. Now if you want, you can use your calculator, 3.9 divided by 100, or you can, so 0.039, or that's often something that you can do in your head, but if you're not sure, check with your calculator. And N, we can just leave it as 18 divided by 12. And when we use our green calculators, that will be fine. Or, if you prefer, you can type in 18 divided by 12 and get 1.5, but don't round off. So if you're left with any decimals, you'd have to keep them all. Otherwise, you'll get cheated out of some interest. And then we use the formula. I equals P times R times N, 5,600 times 0.039, I'm running out of space, sorry about that, times 18 divided by 12. I'll do this just so we can see it on the green calculator. 5,600 times 0.039 times, and we can just do 18 over 12. 327.6. And remember, of course, that we're dealing with money and we write an answer. She paid 327, and we've got to change it to 2 decimal places because it's money in interest. Now the other option that we do have is that we can change the interest rate from a per annum rate, that is yearly, to a rate for any other time period. And we just do that by dividing the annual rate by the number of the other time period that fits into a year. So for a weekly rate, there's 52 weeks in a year, so I divide the annual rate by 52 for a weekly rate. There's 26 fortnights in a year, so I divide by 26 for a fortnightly rate, 12 for monthly. Now 6 monthly and quarterly are a bit weird. Sometimes we will be told 6 monthly or quarterly. There's 2 lots of 6 months in a year and 4 quarters in a year. For example, express 5.16% per annum as a monthly rate. Monthly, divide by 12 5.16 divided by 12, grab your calculator, 0.43, now that's still a percentage per month. So if we wanted to use it for calculations, we'd still have to divide by 100 to get our rate for our formula.